First, the top news headlines. Netaji Subhaschandra Bose, symbol of courage, sacrifice and patriotism, says RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat. Ban on physical rallies, road shows of political parties and candidates extended further till January 31. Imphal West Deputy Commissioner orders schools, private tuition centers to have all students in 15 to 17 years group vaccinated at the earliest. Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the Mami TV English News Bulletin. I'm ALBINA RIAMEI. Chief of Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh RSS Mohan Bhagwat paid floral tribute to Netaji Subhaschandra Bose at Rajarshi Bhagyachanda Skill Development Center, Harauro in Imphal East District on the occasion of 126th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhaschandra Bose today. Speaking at the observance organized by RSS, Manipur Prand Mohan Bhagwat said that RSS celebrates the birth anniversary of Netaji Subhaschandra Bose every year across the country. However, this year's celebration is important as it coincides with the 75th year of India's independence, for which Netaji sacrificed his entire life. He eulogized Netaji Subhaschandra Bose as a symbol of courage, nationalism, dedication and selfless sacrifice. His life is an inspiration for all, and he lived not for himself but for others and the nation. India was ruled by the British and he fought relentlessly for India's independence, the RSS chief said. Following his vision and instilling the spirit of nationalism, unity and sacrifice would be the real remembrance and tribute to Netaji, he added.
तो ऐसी एक आध्यात्मिक प्रेरणा धारण करके संपूर्ण भारत जो अपनी मातृभूमि है उसके लिए सर्वस्व बलिदान करना, ये काम उन्होंने किया। उस समय हम गुलाम थे तो इसका उपयोग स्वतंत्रता के लिए हुआ, लेकिन देश को बड़ा करना है और देश को बड़ा बनाए रखना है तो देश में ऐसे व्यक्तियों की जरूरत हमेशा रहती है। स्वतंत्रता के लिए संग्राम किया इसलिए हम याद करते, लेकिन याद तो उनके इस चरित्र को सदैव करना चाहिए और वैसा बनने का प्रयास करना चाहिए।
The RSS chief is in Manipur on a 4-day visit for Karyakarta Baithak. Family members of war heroes Moirang Koirang and Heman Nilamani were also present during the observance and paid the tribute to the portrait of the late leader. A photo gallery of Indian National Army and Netaji Subhaschandra Bose's life was also displayed as part of the observance. RSS leaders Sunil Deshpande, Akhil Bharatiya Sasamprak Pramukh, Ulhas Kulkarni, Assam Setra Pracharak Vashista Bazur Barua, Assam Setra Sa Pracharak KH Rajan, Setra Karyava, MM Ashokan, Setra Pracharak Pramukh and other prominent personalities attended the observance. The Election Commission of India on Saturday extended the ban on physical rallies and road shows in 5 poll-bound states including Manipur till January 31 amid the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. The decision was taken by the Election Commission following a meeting with the Union Health Secretary and the Chief Health Secretaries of the 5 states. The Commission has, however, granted relaxation for physical public meetings of political parties or contesting candidates for Phase 1 from January 28 and for Phase 2 from February 1. For Phase 1, names of candidates will be finalized on January 27. As such, the Commission allowed physical meetings in designated open spaces with a maximum of 500 people or 50% of the capacity of the venue or the limit set by the State Disaster Management Authority SDMA, whichever is lower from January 28 to February 8. While for Phase 2, the candidates will be finalized on January 30, and as such, the EC allowed physical meetings from February 1 to February 12. It also allowed video vans for publicity with usual COVID restrictions at designated open spaces with a maximum of 500 viewers or 50% of the capacity or the limit set by State Disaster Management Authority, whichever number is lesser in the poll-going states, subject to public convenience and no hindrance to smooth flow of traffic. All other guidelines with regard to COVID-19 would continue to apply, the Election Commission of India said. As a precautionary measures to handle and reduce the impact of COVID-19 in Imphal West District and to smoothly conduct elections and ensure uninterrupted academic calendar, Deputy Commissioner of Imphal West District, T.H. Kiran Kumar, issued an order to speed up vaccination to achieve the targeted vaccination drive approach. According to the order, all eligible students of the age group 15 to 17 years should be vaccinated as early as possible. For this, principal and head of schools in the district should record the status of vaccination in the school records. The JDO must collect week-wise status on the same. All coaching tuition centers for class 9 and above, including private tuition centers, shall furnish the number of students along with the batches and their vaccination status. Details of vaccination status must be shared with the Office of the Deputy Commissioner through the Office of JDO Zone 1 or JDO Wangoi, it said. The order further added that all heads of colleges and registrars of universities must ensure students and scholars are vaccinated. It also directed all booth-level officers, BLOs, to compile the vaccination status of all eligible electors to identify the left-out persons for vaccination. All employees of government establishments involved in election process and persons involved in election which have been categorized as frontline workers are eligible for booster dosage after 90 days of second dose of Covishield. The vaccination drive will be carried out in all government offices by the vaccination team, the order mentioned. The order from the DC also directed all heads of department offices to inform their employees to attend offices to get the required jab and submit latest vaccination by January 31 at the office of DC Imphal West. It also sought people's support in making the targeted vaccination drive a success and cooperation of all stakeholders to free the state from the onslaught of COVID-19. Chief Electoral Officer of Manipur, Rajesh Agarwal, has stated that election plays an important role in a democratic country like India. He was speaking at a workshop on the theme Transgender, Accessible and Inclusive Election, organized by District Election Officer, Imphal East, held at Panchayat Bhavan, located in Imphal East DC complex today. Speaking further, CEO Rajesh Agarwal stated that Manipur is one of the states in India with maximum percentage of voter turnout. He also appealed to all the people of the state to freely vote for the candidates of their choice, lauding the efforts made by DC Imphal East and election officials of the district. The Chief Electoral Officer urged the authorities concerned of other districts to also take up steps for peaceful and free and fair conduct of the upcoming 12 state legislative assembly elections.
We will try to see that all of you across the state come out and vote on the poll day. Manipur has been a state where the elections have been participated, the poll percentages, poll participation has been higher. I am sure that there is no other reason, no reason that why we should fail this time. This time also, in spite of COVID pandemic going on, the third phase going on, I think we should come out and vote because a lot of initiative has been taken at polling station to ensure COVID safe voting experience for all of you.
Taking part in the workshop, the District Election Officer of Imphal East, K.H. Daina, stated that awareness and orientation program will continue to be held across the district to sensitize voters on the importance of voting. She also appealed to people of the district to extend support for peaceful conduct of the upcoming elections.
Today, I, on behalf of the district, make our commitment to work together with all stakeholders for the acknowledgement and guarantee of accessible election to our third gender brothers and sisters and to empower the community. Lastly, my earnest appeal to the voters of the community is to participate in elections, which is the festival of democracy, to come out and vote in the upcoming state assembly elections, to choose a representative and to ink history for the community, for the state, and for the country.
Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad ABVP Imphal East Unit organized a Tiranga rally in connection with the 75th year of Independence Day of India, carrying a 75-meter-long Indian flag. The rally, which was attended by around 150 students from different schools and universities, flagged off from Churachan Higher Secondary School and culminated at Western Gate of Kangla, carrying the 75-meter-long tricolor. Speaking on the occasion, State Joint Secretary of ABVP, Ketrimayum Sangita said, as part of the celebration of 75th year of independence of India, ABVP organized the Tiranga rally in 4 districts of Manipur, as organized all over the country, acknowledging the contribution of youths in bringing growth and progress in society. She said the party organized a rally giving the message to the people. The rally also celebrates the 125th birth anniversary of freedom fighter Netaji Subhaschandra Bose, Sangita said.
CC Higher Secondary School dagina Kanglagi Western Gate Fauba Jasaki Masigi Rally Asida Mioi Jamaga Yankhaina Sarugyabiki Tongan Ba School Colleges Amasong University dagi Satra Singh Nang Asigi Rally Asida Sarugyabiki Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad ki main ideology di National Reconstruction Haibani Masida Naha Singna Nation nama sembada afaba Bharat ama semna bahonabada achauba thodang lai haibadu message miyam punamakta 75th anniversary na Indian independence na lakpasida bizanaba wakhalonda rally asi sinjabani.
BJP supporters in Kakching Assembly constituency continued their protest against BJP Manipur Pradesh alleged attempt to give party's ticket to ex-MLA of the constituency, Yankom Suchandra, for the upcoming state general elections. The people of Sora Karanchi chanted slogans and used placards condemning the joining of ex-MLA Suchandra to BJP Kakching Mandal last evening at Kakching Ward number 11. Taking part in the protests, KSH Razendro condemned the joining of the MLA to BJP without any discussions with the BJP Mandal, Yuba Morcha and Mahila Mandal by some members of BJP Manipur Pradesh. He expressed displeasure on giving more priority to ex-MLA Suchandra by forgetting all the development works in the constituency taken up by MLA M. Rameshwar since 2013. The protesters appealed to the state and national leaders of BJP not to create tension for the people of the constituency and maintain that they will not extend their support to Yankom Suchandra.
Mahaku nungsibagi damakta akoina BJP da changjarakpani karigumba mahakonda ticket si phangdaba taragadi akoi BJP da changlakpagi mahau yaude artha leite maramaduna criminal case ta chenaba misak sing akoi BJP Kakching Mandal da yauba yaroi amadi ticket pibiganu haibase akoi gi akanba wafam.
Manipur Students Federation MSF Jiribam branch has accused some private schools of Jiribam district for allegedly charging more money than the amount ordered by the Board of Secondary Education Manipur BOSEM. The federation demanded the schools to refund the excess money. Speaking to media, President of MSF Jiribam branch A. Ratan said the amount for form fill-up for class 10 by BOSEM is Rs 2,400. However, they found some private schools charging more than the actual amount. As such, MSF demands the school to refund the excess amount to the students. If they fail to do so, the school authorities must accept the consequences of steps taken up by the federation, Ratan said.
School sing asina lising aniga sanipan henna loramba asi ekoi school sing asi sendal lambida oina chalabra haina khanjai maramaduna ekoina Satra Singagi henna lawkiba paisa sing asi athuba matamda Satra Singa handokpiu kariguma handokpi daba targate ekoigi MSF district committee Jiribamna lokalakpa step khudimakta ekoigi school singi authority singna risk lobi gadabani haina hajari.
Celine Digital organized a COVID-19 awareness cum poster campaign at Mualfang village in Saitu Assembly constituency. Speaking on the occasion, producer of Celine Digital Fanjaubam Lanazit said, COVID surge in the state is not a good sign, hence it is necessary to follow COVID-appropriate behavior. The awareness program is being organized in various parts of the state to raise awareness on COVID-19. Sinai Institute of Medical Sciences and Saman Youth jointly organized a free medical camp at Waithau Chiru today. Around 350 were provided with free health checkups at the camp, free diabetes, HIV blood group, urine COVID and RBC test facilities and medicines were also provided during the camp. Now we have a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more updates.
Notice the ahanba oina RBI na regulate toba amasung Ministry of Finance Department of Financial Services Government of India na Surface Act 2002 gi makada financial institution ama oina sakhangkraba Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Housing for All mission gi makada subsidized home loan pibada mangjil thariba Panthoi Housing Finance Company Limited amadi masigi sister company singi Guwahati yauna branch tarahumdoi hangdokchare chahi 13 ki khongchata lakraba Panthoi Housing Finance Company Limited tagi miyamna financial facilities sing lowiranaba ningsingjari Panthoi Housing Finance Company Limited and its sisters companies Uripok Taurambam Laikai. Notice the ahanba oina RBI na regulate toba amasung Ministry of Finance Department of Financial Services Government of India na Surface Act 2002 gi makada financial institution ama oina sakhangkraba Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Housing for All mission gi makada subsidized home loan pibada mangjil thariba Panthoi Housing Finance Company Limited amadi masigi sister company singi Guwahati yauna branch tarahumdoi hangdokchare chahi 13 ki khongchata lakraba Panthoi Housing Finance Company Limited tagi miyamna financial facilities sing lowiranaba ningsingjari Panthoi Housing Finance Company Limited and its sisters companies Uripok Taurambam Laikai.
Welcome back. India recorded 3.33 lakh new COVID-19 cases with 525 deaths in the last 24 hours, 1.2% less than yesterday, according to the data released by the Union Health Ministry. With the fresh COVID-19 cases, the total caseload in the country has crossed 3.92 crore. With 525 deaths reported in the last 24 hours, the total reported death count increased to 4.89 lakh and the active caseload stood at 21.87 lakh with an increase by 73,840. Meanwhile, a total of 2.59 lakh patients recovered in the last 24 hours, which brought the total recoveries to 3.65 crore across the country. Consequently, India's recovery rate also stood at 93.18%. So far, India has administered a total of 71.10 lakh doses in the last 24 hours, which took the total tally of vaccine doses administered to 161.92 crore across the country. On the other hand, the Omicron variant of COVID-19 is in the community transmission stage in India and has become dominant in multiple metros where new cases have been rising exponentially. The Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genetics Consortium in SACOC has said in its latest bulletin. It also said BA2 lineage and infectious subvariant of Omicron has been found in a substantial fraction in the country. Paying tribute to Netaji Bose on his 125th birth anniversary today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, "Every Indian is proud of his monumental contribution to the nation." Taking to Twitter, Prime Minister Modi wrote that he bowed to Netaji Bose on his Jayanti and every Indian is proud of his monumental contribution to the nation. The Prime Minister will also install a hologram statue of Netaji Bose at India Gate today at 6 p.m. to mark the beginning of Republic Day celebrations. Prime Minister Modi, in another tweet, expressed that at a time when the entire nation is marking the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Bose, he is glad to share that his grand statue made of granite will be installed at India Gate, and this would be a symbol of India's indebtedness to him. On the other hand, the Gujarat Institute of Disaster Management, GIDM, and Sikkim State Disaster Management Authority's Vice Chairman Vinod Sharma have been selected for the Subhash Chandra Bose Abda Prabandhan Puraskar 2022 for their excellent work in disaster management. They will be conferred the award along with the awardees of 2019, 2020 and 2021 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the investiture ceremony to be held in the evening to commemorate the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Bose. Former Japan Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was conferred with the Netaji Award 2022 by Netaji Research Bureau today. Consul General of Japan in Kolkata, Nakamura Yutaka, received the honor on behalf of Abe at a function at the Eldin Road residence of Netaji Bose on his 125th birth anniversary. Japanese Ambassador to India Santoshi Suzuki addressed the program virtually from New Delhi. Sugata Bose, the grandnephew of the legendary freedom fighter and director of Netaji Research Bureau, described Abe as a great admirer of Netaji. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee today hit out at the centre, saying that installing Netaji Bose statue at India Gate would not end the centre's responsibilities. Mamata Banerjee went on to state that by creating the statue, the work of the central government does not end, neither does it mean that he is being respected. The Bengal Chief Minister also stated that the date of death of Netaji is still unknown. Mamata Banerjee also announced a university on Netaji's name and a monument in the memory of the Indian National Army, INA. The United Arab Emirates has banned the use of drones for 1 month, days after Yemen's Houthi rebels launched a deadly drone and missile attack on Abu Dhabi. The Ministry of Interior is currently stopping all flying operations for owners, practitioners and enthusiasts of drones, including drones and light sports aircraft, the official's WAM news agency reported. Anyone performing these activities during that period and disregarding guidelines will be subject to legal liabilities. It added, reporting the ban would last for 1 month. Without mentioning the recent deadly attack, the ministry said the order was made after misuse spotted recently, where users were trespassing into areas where these types of activities are prohibited. Before we end the bulletin, let's look at the top news headlines once again. Netaji Bose, symbol of courage, sacrifice and patriotism, says RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat. Ban on physical rallies, road shows of political parties and candidates extended further till January 31. Imphal West Deputy Commissioner orders schools' private tuition centers to have all students in 15 to 17 years group vaccinated at the earliest. With that, it's a wrap for this evening news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.